I woke to the sound of rain tapping against my window. Monday mornings were never exciting, but I liked knowing what to expect. I showered, dressed, made coffee, and reached for my apartment door. Then I stopped. A bouquet of white roses sat on my welcome mat. I stared at it. What the hell? There was no delivery box, no receipt, and no name. Only a small white card rested between the flowers. I picked it up and read the message. For the man I never forgot. My stomach tightened. I never forgot. I looked down the hallway. Hello. Nobody answered. I carried the flowers inside and placed them on the kitchen table. I checked my phone, expecting some explanation, but there was nothing. When Emily arrived 20 minutes later, she noticed the roses immediately. "Those are beautiful," she said. "I know. Who sent them?" "That's the problem. I have no idea." She walked closer and picked up the card. "What does this mean?" "I wish I knew." She read it again. "For the man I never forgot." Then she looked directly at me. "Daniel, is there something you haven't told me?" I almost laughed. "Emily, I've been with you for 4 years. Do you honestly think I have a secret girlfriend?" "I didn't say girlfriend." "You were thinking it." She dropped the card onto the table. "Women don't just send roses to men for no reason. Maybe it's a mistake." "A mistake with a personal message?" "I don't know." She crossed her arms. "Have you been talking to someone?" "No." "Anyone from your past?" "No." "Are you sure?" Her questions started bothering me. "Yes, I'm sure." She looked away. "Fine. Why are you acting like I'm guilty?" "I'm not." "You are." She grabbed her bag. "I have to go." "Emily." "What?" "What's wrong?" "Nothing." She kissed my cheek quickly and left. I stood there, watching the door close. Something felt wrong. Around noon, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the message. "You saved my life without knowing it." I read it twice. Then a third time. What? I searched my memory. Nothing. I had never saved anyone's life. At least, I didn't remember doing it. A second message appeared. "You forgot." I never did. I immediately called Noah. He answered after 2 rings. "What's up?" "I need you to tell me if I'm secretly famous." He laughed. "What did you do?" "Someone sent me flowers." "That explains everything." "It doesn't." "What kind?" "White roses." "Ooh. Don't start." "Who's she?" "I don't know." "You don't know." That's exactly my problem. I sent him a picture of the flowers. He was silent for a moment. "Okay, that's creepy." "Thank you." "What does the card say?" I read it to him. He whistled. "Secret admirer." Or stalker. Maybe both. I got another message. What did it say? "You saved my life without knowing it." Noah stopped joking. That is definitely strange. I don't remember saving anyone. Think harder. I am thinking. Anyone from school? No. College? No. Your old neighborhood? I paused. I don't know. Then find out. How? Start with the flowers. I already checked. Nothing. Ask the florist. Great idea. I called the shop printed on the tiny ribbon. The woman who answered said she couldn't reveal customer information. "Can you at least tell me when they were ordered?" I asked. "Yesterday afternoon." "By whom?" "I'm sorry, sir." "Please." "I really can't." I thanked her and hung up. Noah sighed through the phone. This is getting interesting. It doesn't feel interesting. It feels dangerous. I don't know. Then be careful. That evening, Emily came home unusually quiet. I watched her put down her keys. Can we talk? My heart sank. Sure. What's wrong? She sat across from me. I've been thinking. About what? Us. I swallowed. Okay. I think we need a break. The words hit harder than I expected. A break. Yes. Why? I just need space. Space from me. Daniel, please don't make this harder. I stared at her. Did I do something? No. Then why? She looked down. I don't feel the same anymore. I felt something inside me crack. Since when? I don't know. You don't know. Things changed. When? She didn't answer. Is there someone else? Her eyes moved away from mine. Emily. No. You hesitated. I said no. Then look at me. She finally did. I need time. My phone buzzed. I ignored it. Emily stood. I should go. Where? I need to clear my head. Tonight. Yes. She picked up her bag. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. One message. Don't trust the woman standing beside you. My blood ran cold. I slowly raised my eyes toward Emily. She was standing 3 feet away. Who messaged you? She asked. I locked my phone. Nobody. Her face changed. What did they say? I stared at her. For the first time in 4 years, I didn't know if the woman I loved was telling me the truth. Emily reached for the door, but I stopped her. Wait. She turned. What? Why did you ask who sent the message? Because you looked terrified. I didn't tell you what it said. She went silent. That silence frightened me more than the message. Emily, how could you know I was scared? I know you, Daniel. Then why won't you look at me? She stared at the floor. I said I need a break. No. You're hiding something. Her expression hardened. You're imagining things. Am I? She opened the door. Goodbye, Daniel. Emily, please. She walked away. I didn't follow. I couldn't. I looked at flowers and picked up the card. Handwriting was neat. I whispered, "Who are you?" My phone buzzed. No message appeared. Only a missed call from the number. I stared at screen until it went dark. The roses suddenly looked different. They weren't beautiful anymore. They were a warning. And somehow, a stranger knew something about my life that I didn't. I spent the next 3 days pretending everything was normal. It wasn't. Emily barely spoke to me. When she did, her answers were short. Where are you going? Work. You've been working late every night. I have deadlines. Since when? She grabbed her coat. Since when do I need permission? I didn't say that. You're acting like you don't trust me. I almost laughed. You told me you wanted a break, Emily. Then you started coming home at midnight. What am I supposed to think? Think whatever you want. She walked out. I stood alone in our apartment, staring at the closed door. The warning on my phone returned to my mind. Don't trust the woman standing beside you. I hated that message. I hated that I was starting to believe it. That afternoon, Noah called. Any more flowers? No. Messages? Nothing. So what happened? Emily is hiding something. Did you ask her? Yes. And? She says I'm paranoid. Noah was quiet. Daniel, Do you want my honest opinion? Always. Check the facts. What facts? Don't accuse her. Don't chase her. Just find out what's real. I didn't answer. Then Noah asked, Are you still logged into the shared tablet? Yes. Check it. I knew what he meant. I also knew I shouldn't. But that night, after Emily left for what she called another meeting, I opened the tablet. Her email was still signed in. I saw Ryan's name. My hands went cold. The first message was from 6 months earlier. Ryan had written, You don't have to stay with him forever. Emily replied, I know. I'm just afraid of hurting him. Another message appeared. Ryan, you deserve a better life. Emily, I want that life. I kept scrolling. There were hundreds of messages. Trips, hotels, restaurants, plans. Then I found the message that destroyed whatever hope I had left. Emily had written, I'll leave Daniel after the contract is signed. I can't spend another year pretending our small life is enough. I whispered, pretending? My eyes burned. I took screenshots and called Noah. Tell me this isn't real. What did you find? Everything. Send it. I did. A minute later, Noah called back. Daniel, I'm sorry. She planned this for months. I know. No. You don't understand. I thought we were fighting because we'd both been tired. I thought we could fix it. You can't fix something only one person wants. I closed my eyes. I feel stupid. You're not stupid. I trusted her. That isn't stupidity. The front door opened. Emily walked in. She froze when she saw me holding the tablet. Daniel. Who is Ryan? Her face lost its color. Why are you asking? Because I know. Know what? That you've been planning to leave me. She put down her bag. Listen to me. No. You listen. Daniel, please. 6 months. She looked away. 6 months of lying. I wasn't trying to hurt you. You were planning a new life behind my back. I didn't know how to tell you. You could have told me the truth. I was scared. Of what? Of staying trapped. The word hit me harder than anything else. Trapped. Yes. I stared at her. Was I ever enough for you? She didn't answer. I asked again. Was I ever enough? Her eyes filled with tears. You were good to me. That wasn't my question. She whispered. No. I felt my chest tighten. Why? Because I want more. More than me. More than this life. What does Ryan give you? Security. Travel. Money. A future. And I gave you what? Love. You say that like it isn't worth anything. It is worth something. Just not enough. She wiped her face. I didn't choose Ryan because you're a bad man. You chose him because he's rich. Yes. Her honesty hurt more than another lie. I understand. Daniel. No. I finally understand. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. Don't. I still care about you. Then you should have been honest. She started crying. I didn't. Something inside me had already gone quiet. I left the apartment. Ryan was waiting outside. He stepped forward. Daniel, we should talk. I looked at him. You got what you wanted. I never wanted to hurt you. You wanted Emily. Yes. At least you're honest. He said nothing. I walked past him. No begging. No fighting. No revenge. Just silence. That night, I returned home to another bouquet. White roses. My hands shook as I lifted the card. A photograph fell onto the table. I picked it up. It showed me at 16, standing beside a river. I stared at my younger face. I don't remember this. On the back, someone had written, "You don't remember me, but I remember everything." I called Noah. "There's a photograph." Of what? Me. When I was 16. Where? By the river. Do you recognize anyone? No. I turned the photograph over again. Then I noticed a name written beneath the message. Maya Bennett. Who's Maya Bennett? I don't know. Search your old records. I opened an old school album on my laptop. There she was. A girl standing far behind me in a class picnic photograph. Maya Bennett. I zoomed in. She was watching me. I whispered, "You've been there all along." My phone buzzed. Another message appeared. "You finally found me." I stared at the screen, unable to breathe. I had never met Maya. At least, that was what I believed. But the photograph said otherwise. I zoomed closer. "Who are you?" I searched my files, then opened a folder labeled Summer Memories. My fingers froze when I found picture from that day. I was laughing beside the river. Maya stood yards away. But this time, she wasn't looking at the camera. She was looking at me. I felt pressure in my chest. I whispered, "Why don't I remember you?" I noticed something behind her. A red backpack. I remembered that backpack. I remembered the river. I remembered a scream. I drove back to the town I had not visited in 13 years. The river appeared in my memory before I even reached the bridge. Noah sat beside me. "You're quiet," he said. "I'm trying to remember." Remember what? That girl. Maya. Yes. You said you couldn't remember her. I couldn't. But that photograph changed something. He looked at the road. Then let's find the truth. We spent the morning searching old school records, newspaper archives, and town photographs. Most of the names meant nothing to me. Then Noah placed an old newspaper on the table. "Look at this." I read the headline. "Teen saves girl from river." My hands went cold. "That's me." Noah nodded. "Read the date." I did. July 18th, 13 years ago. I stared at the article. I remember the river. What else? A scream. I closed my eyes. I remember running. Do you remember the girl? No. Maybe this article can help. I read the short report again. 16-year-old Daniel Carter pulled a young girl from the river after she was caught in the current. I swallowed. Why don't I remember her face? Noah pointed to the final line. Her name is here. I looked down. Maya Bennett. My heart started pounding. So it really was her. A voice came from behind us. Yes. I turned. An elderly woman stood near the doorway. I'm Grace Wilson, she said. I knew your mother. I stood. You knew Maya. I knew her family. Please, I said. Tell me everything. Mrs. Wilson motioned toward a chair. Sit down, Daniel. I Saturday. She looked at me for several seconds. You truly don't remember? I remember saving someone. I don't remember who she was. Mrs. Wilson sighed. Maya was 11 years old. I stared at her. 11. Yes. Why was she near the river? She ran away from home after an argument with her father. Why? That is a story Maya should tell you herself. I leaned forward. What happened after I saved her? She was frightened. You stayed beside her until the ambulance came. I rubbed my forehead. I don't remember doing that. You were 16. You probably thought it was nothing. It wasn't nothing to her. No. Mrs. Wilson opened an old wooden box. She removed an envelope. This belongs to you. I took it carefully. My name is on it. Maya wrote it. When? 2 weeks after the accident. Why didn't she send it? She was afraid. Of me. Of losing the memory. I opened the envelope. My hands trembled. Inside was a handwritten letter. I read the first line. Dear Daniel, I don't know if you remember me. My throat tightened. Noah stayed silent. I continued reading. You pulled me from the river when I thought nobody would come. You held my hand and kept telling me to breathe. I was scared, but your voice made me believe I could survive. I stopped. Noah whispered, keep reading. I did. I know you probably think you only saved me for a few minutes. But those minutes changed my life. When I feel afraid, I remember you telling me that I was stronger than the river. I lowered the letter. I said that. Mrs. Wilson smiled sadly. You did. I looked at the paper again. The next words hurt even more. I want to become strong enough to thank you one day. I wiped my eyes. She remembered all this. For years. Why didn't anyone tell me? Maya asked us not to. I looked at Mrs. Wilson. Why? Because she didn't want you to feel responsible for her. I shook my head. I never even knew. You weren't supposed to. I read the final paragraph. I hope one day I can meet you again. If I ever do, I won't ask you to love me. I only want you to know that your kindness became part of my life. I stared at the letter. She wasn't in love with me because of flowers. No. She remembered who I was before I became someone broken. Mrs. Wilson nodded. She carried that memory for years. I felt ashamed. I spent years believing nothing I did mattered. Noah touched my shoulder. You saved a life, Daniel. I forgot. That doesn't erase what happened. Mrs. Wilson closed the box. There is something else. I looked up. What? Maya tried to contact you. How many times? 3. My heart jumped. When? After college. Then again when she moved back to the city. Why didn't she reach me? She learned you were in a serious relationship. With Emily. Yes. I stared at the floor. She stayed away because of Emily. She believed your happiness mattered more than her feelings. I couldn't speak. Noah finally said, that's more respect than most people show. Mrs. Wilson nodded. Maya never wanted to destroy your relationship. I looked at the flowers photograph on my phone. Then why send them now? Mrs. Wilson's expression became serious. I don't know. Do you? She hesitated. Maya asked me to give you something only if you came looking for answers. She handed me another small envelope. I opened it. There was one sentence. Meet me where you saved me. My heart pounded. When? Mrs. Wilson pointed toward the window. Tomorrow evening. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the message. Daniel, I think you finally remember. I stared at the screen. Another message arrived. Please meet me at the river tomorrow. I whispered her name. Maya. Noah looked at me. What are you going to do? I folded the letter and held it against my chest. I'm going to hear the truth from her myself. I looked toward the darkening river. Fear mixed with curiosity, but for the first time, I wanted the truth more than comfort. I had to know why she returned now. I knew tomorrow would change everything, but I was ready to face whatever waited beside river. I had spent years running from memories, and now forgotten girl was pulling me toward the truth. For 13 years, I had forgotten the girl I saved. Now I wondered if she had been waiting all that time to save me. I reached the river before sunset. The water moved quietly, almost as if nothing terrible had ever happened there. I stood near the old bridge, holding Maya's letter in my pocket. A woman's voice came from behind me. "Daniel." I turned. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. "You're Maya." She smiled softly. "Yes." I studied her face. "I imagined you 100 different ways." "I'm sorry." "Why?" "Because I let you wonder for so long." I shook my head. "You sent the flowers." "I did." "Why?" She looked toward the river. "Because I remembered you." "You barely knew me." "I knew enough." I stepped closer. "Did you send them because you wanted me to leave Emily?" "No." "Then what did you want?" "I wanted you to remember that you were worth loving." Her answer caught me off guard. "Emily made me feel like I wasn't enough." "I know." "How?" Maya looked down. "Because she contacted me." My stomach tightened. "When?" "Before I sent the first flowers." "Why would Emily contact you?" "Because she found out who I was." I stared at her. "How?" "She searched for you. She found old records, photographs, and eventually my name." "What did she say?" Maya hesitated. "She asked me to stay away from you." "Did she threaten you?" "No. She tried something worse." "What?" "She told me you belonged to her." I felt anger rise inside me. "She said that?" "Yes." "What did you tell her?" "I told her I had no intention of stealing you." Maya took a breath. "I told her that if you loved her, I would respect that." "And she believed you?" "She didn't." "What happened?" "She asked me to disappear." I looked at the river. "And you did?" "Yes." "For how long?" "Years." "Why?" "Because I didn't want my feelings to become a weapon." Her words stayed with me. I thought love meant fighting for someone. Sometimes love means refusing to fight against someone else's freedom. I looked at her. "You really waited all those years." "I lived my life." "You moved on." "I learned to live without knowing whether I'd ever see you again." "Did you love anyone else?" She smiled faintly. "I tried." "And?" I kept comparing kindness to the boy beside the river. I lowered my eyes. "I wasn't special. You saved me when everyone else was afraid." "I was 16. You were brave." I remembered the scream, the cold water, and a small hand gripping mine. "I remember now." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "What do you remember?" "You were terrified." "I was." "You kept saying you couldn't breathe." "I thought I was going to die." "And I told you to keep looking at me." "You did." "I told you the river wasn't stronger than you." Maya smiled through her tears. I remembered those words for 13 years. I felt something break inside me. Why send the flowers now? Because I learned Emily was leaving. "You knew?" "Yes." "Did you feel happy?" "No." "Why not?" "Because I knew you would be hurt." She stepped closer. "I didn't want your pain to become my opportunity." Before I could answer, my phone rang. "Emily." I answered. "What do you want?" "Daniel, please come home." "I'm not home." "I know." "How?" "I know where you are." I looked at Maya. Emily continued. "Please, just listen." "I've listened enough." "I made mistakes." "You made choices." "I can change." "Can you?" "Yes." "Why now?" Silence. Then she whispered, "Because Ryan left me." I closed my eyes. What happened? He found out I lied. About what? Money, the contract, everything. Maya remained silent beside me. Emily continued. Victor exposed the financial plan. Ryan says I used him. Did you? I wanted a better life. You destroyed ours for it. I know. Then why should I take you back? Because I still love you. I almost laughed. You told me I wasn't enough. I was wrong. You told me Ryan could give you everything I couldn't. I was wrong about him too. Emily, I can't fix this for you. Please, Daniel, give me one more chance. I looked at Maya. She didn't tell me what to choose. She only said quietly, whatever you decide, make sure it's your choice. Emily asked, who's with you? I didn't answer. Daniel. I'll call you later. I ended the call. I asked, what did Victor discover? Ryan's company was preparing a deal using money she promised. So Emily lied to Ryan too. Yes. Did she admit it? She admitted it. I shook my head. She betrayed me, then betrayed him. Maya answered quietly, people who build their lives on lies become trapped inside them. Do you hate her? No. Why? Because hatred would give her another piece of my life. Her answer remained. I realized I didn't need Emily to suffer. I needed to stop suffering for her. Maya watched me. You could have told her about me. I didn't want to hurt her. You're still protecting her. I don't know how to stop. Then start by protecting yourself. I looked at the river. For years, I had believed love meant holding someone tightly enough that they couldn't leave. Now I understood something different. Love could not be forced. Love could not be bought. And love could not survive where trust had already died. My phone buzzed again. Emily sent one final message. I'll wait for you. I deleted it. Maya looked at me. Are you angry? Yes. Do you want revenge? I thought about Emily crying, Ryan losing everything, and the life I had once wanted. I did. And now? I took a slow breath. Now I want my life back. Maya smiled. Then you're finally ready. Ready for what? To stop living for someone else's choice. I looked at her and felt no pressure, no demand, no promise. Only peace. For the first time since Emily left, I knew I had something she could never take from me. The power to choose. I met Emily one final time at the small cafe where we had our first date. I arrived early and sat near the window, watching rain slide down the glass. When Emily entered, I barely recognized the confidence she once carried. Daniel. Sit down. She lowered herself into the chair. I'm sorry. I looked at her. For what? For everything. That's a big word. I know. You said you wanted money. You said you wanted excitement. You said I wasn't enough. Her eyes filled with tears. I was wrong. Were you? Yes. Why? Because I thought a better life meant a richer life. And now? Now I understand what I threw away. I felt the old pain return, sharp and familiar. For 1 second, I wanted her to suffer. I wanted her to feel the emptiness she had left inside me. Instead, I asked, do you want me back? She nodded. Yes. Why? Because I finally understand that you loved me when I had nothing impressive to offer. You knew that before. I didn't understand it. I looked down at my coffee. Ryan. She sighed. It's over. Because of the money. Because of the lies. What did Victor do? He exposed the financial scheme. Ryan discovered that I had hidden important details about the contract. So everything collapsed. Yes. I nodded slowly. Do you regret choosing him? I regret choosing a life that required me to destroy yours. Her words hurt, but they no longer controlled me. Emily, I don't hate you anymore. She looked up. You don't? No. Then can we start again? I shook my head. I just don't belong to you anymore. She covered her face and cried. I sat quietly. Part of me wanted to say something cruel. Instead, I said, I hope you become happy. She looked at me through her tears. How can you forgive me? I'm not forgiving everything today. Then what are you doing? Letting go. She whispered, I wish I had understood sooner. So do I. I stood. Goodbye, Emily. Daniel, please. I stopped. She asked, was I ever important to you? I turned back. You were my whole world once. And now? Now I'm learning how to be my own. I walked out without looking back. Outside, I called Noah. How did it go? He asked. I ended it. Are you okay? I think I finally will be. That sounds different. It feels different. What about Ryan? His deal is gone. Victor exposed everything. Does that make you happy? I thought for a moment. No. Why not? Because I don't want my peace to depend on someone else's downfall. Noah laughed softly. That's my friend. I also learned that Karma did not need my help. Emily had to face the choices she made, and Ryan had to face the truth behind the deal he trusted. I did not need to watch either of them fall. My victory was waking each morning without anger controlling my thoughts. Noah remained beside me through it all. You changed, he told me. I had to. No, he said. You chose to. That distinction stayed with me. Months passed. I rebuilt my life slowly. I worked harder, visited my mother, spent time with my sister, and stopped checking Emily's social media. I learned to enjoy quiet mornings without waiting for someone to validate me. Maya remained in my life, but I refused to rush what we had. One evening I told her, I need you to understand something. She smiled. What? I don't want you to become a replacement for Emily. I don't want that either. I need to become a better man before I become your partner. Maya took my hand. Then take your time. You're not disappointed? No. Why? Because I don't want a broken version of you to depend on me. I smiled. And you? I want us to choose each other when we're both standing on our own. Our relationship grew slowly. We talked. We argued. We laughed. We learned each other's fears. I never felt trapped. I never felt pressured. For the first time, love felt like freedom. Then my birthday arrived. I opened my apartment door and found Maya standing outside with white roses. I laughed. Again. She smiled. Again. I took the bouquet. There's a card. I opened it. You saved me once. Let me remind you that you deserve to be saved too. I stared at the words. Maya asked, Are you crying? Maybe. She laughed. I'll pretend I didn't notice. I looked at the roses. Do you know what I thought when the first bouquet arrived? That someone mysterious was watching you. Exactly. And now? Now I understand. What? The flowers were never asking me to replace Emily. Maya waited. They were reminding me that my life didn't end when she left. She squeezed my hand. What did you learn? I looked at her. That losing someone can hurt without destroying me. And that love isn't ownership. And that forgiveness doesn't mean returning. Maya smiled. And the biggest lesson. I took a breath. I don't need someone else to tell me I'm enough. She leaned closer. But I smiled. But I'm grateful someone reminded me. She hugged me. I held her carefully, knowing I wasn't holding on to her out of fear. I was choosing her. That difference changed everything. I had once believed the end of my relationship was the end of my story. It wasn't. It was the moment my story finally became mine. I looked at the white roses again. They no longer represented betrayal, mystery, or heartbreak. They represented survival. They represented forgiveness without surrender. They represented a woman who waited without demanding, and a man who finally learned to stand without begging. I whispered, "Thank you, Maya." She asked, "For what?" "For finding me when I had forgotten myself." She smiled. "You saved me first." I shook my head. Maybe we saved each other. And for the first time, I believed it.